Hi everyone, so your girl is right back at it with you, and as you can see, we're gonna talk about some hair problems. Like, don't we all have hair problems? I know I do, so let's get right into it. Okay, so I decided to do this video because believe it or not, your girl do have hair problems, like almost all the time, I think. But I want to just talk about it because being that I have experienced it, I'm surely know that you guys are experiencing it. And also by the emails and the text messages that I get, I am like, I need to do a video talking about hair problems. So I remember back in 2014 when I got married, and after I got married, I realized like my hair was breaking a lot. And wow, thank goodness I caught it on time. I caught it and I realized it was actually the style. I don't know, maybe I was a little bit too intense. You know, wedding planning can be very intense. But yeah, I caught it and I realized, hey, like I wasn't paying attention to my ends. And that was one of the problems that caused my hair to break the way it was. And also the styling that I did for my wedding. Not saying it won't work for you guys or anyone out there that likes that type of hairstyle, but it did affect my hair. I guess my hair is just not used to anything that's finely braided. I normally stay away from anything that's finely braided. But yeah, so I decided let me just do this video because I would rather you guys to be able to watch a video and to just understand even more clearer why I asked you guys the questions I asked you when you're saying to me, Ruth, my hair isn't growing, or my hair isn't retaining length, or I'm not seeing anything happen, no changes. So let's get right into it for real. So why my hair isn't growing? For those who have that question, a lot of the times I always say to you guys, it's not that your hair isn't growing, because our hair grow, and I've always repeated this over and over again. Our hair grow 6 inches a year on the average. If there's a medical condition, your hair is actually growing. So you're actually either on the average or above average or below average, and that's fine. As long as you're healthy, your hair grows. So let's keep that in mind. All right, so when you say why your hair isn't growing, meaning really and truly why you're not retaining length, is what you should be asking yourself. So I want you to look into yourself and ask yourself why you're not retaining length. And some of the reasons why we don't retain length, and I'm going to say we because sometimes I make that mistakes, or some of the mistakes also in with myself, is how you're styling your hair. As I gave the example of my wedding hairstyle, I really had to clip my ends a lot. I didn't do it at once, but I literally had to trim off a whole lot gradually to get back my hair to where it needed to be. So a lot of time we neglect our hair by the styles we are doing. So for instance, if you have weave in your hair, you have to actually pay attention to your actual hair under that weave. You cannot just wear weave and do nothing with it, or just wear the weave and keep styling the weave, but you're forgetting the hair that's actually your hair underneath it. So that can also be an issue why you're not retaining length, and you're like, well, I'm wearing weave, I'm wearing a protective style, but I'm not seeing the results. Well, that's the reason why. Are you moisturizing your hair properly? Do you know how to even moisturize your hair? For instance, using the LOC method, the LOC method, liquid, oil, and cream. I actually have a video on how I moisturize my hair and how I moisturize and detangle my hair, and I will leave that below, and you'll also see it somewhere along here throughout the video, so look out for that. So that's something to look out for concerning styling. You know, what styles are you repeatedly doing to your hair? Some of us, we love buns, and I absolutely love buns. As you can see, I'm rocking a hairstyle with a bun. So I love buns, but can I just tell you the real deal? With buns, you have to be careful of how you are catching up your hair. If you're doing it too tight, it's going to play an effect around the crown crown areas and even in the center of your head, depending on where you're catching it up. So with your buns, I would advise for you to play around with the spots that you're catching it up. So one week or maybe 3 days out of the week, you catch it in the center, then you shift it to the side, then you shift it to the back. That way the tension isn't like stressing out your roots in that particular area that you're constantly catching up your hair in, if I'm making sense. So those are just little examples of what you can do to prevent breakage and to prevent from degressing your progress, which results in you saying my hair is not growing, but really and truly it is growing. But you have to be careful of how you're styling your hair, and that is one of the biggest things. Okay, let's talk about products. Now, I really want to talk more on products, and I actually have a video on that where I did a whole session live chat with Davine and with Melissa. Go check out that video. It's a 2-part video. We did a whole long live chat about our hair regimens, and we talk a lot about like the styles and the products that we use and so forth. But we need to pay attention to the products that we use. A lot of people are so jumpy to buy products, but we're not paying attention to the ingredients. And I want to say, if you're using products in your hair and they have a lot of alcohol and a lot of parabens and a lot of sulfates, then that's the reason why you're not retaining length, because sulfates, paraben, alcohol, they're very drying for our hair, and our hair is the driest hair out of all ethnicity. So that's could be a serious issue right there. So pay attention to the products that you're using. My recommendation is to use a lot of natural products, and I do talk about various products that I am into, and that's a part of my regimen, and we'll be talking more about my regimen products in the next video after this. So stay tuned for that, and remember, subscribe so you can actually get that video, okay?